So in the previous class, we were done with the installation of JDK, the setup of path and class path on our systems for both Mac users and Windows users. And also we were done with the installation of IntelliJ IDEA. I think we had like dealt with everyone who was like facing problem. Yesterday, I also dropped some instructions on the WhatsApp group, says that if anyone else is having problem, please follow those instructions. You will be able to um, install and make the setup ready. So I don't think there should be any issues. For those who are attending the class today, have you all installed both JDK and IntelliJ? Can you please respond?
Who's asking?
Yes, this is Adamasu.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. So we'll start the session today. Yeah. Let me share my screen. Are you all able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So last class we were done with the installation and setup. So we'll start with some basic introduction to Java, and we'll like cover few topics today. So we'll start with introduction to Java. So these things are a bit theoretical. So in the initial classes, we'll have to like cover some theoretical things as well, because those are a bit concept related, and that's like important to know those things as well. So I'll so these theoretical things, I think I'll cover a bit fast. Let me know if you find my pace a bit fast. You can ask me to like slow down. But these are like simple things, so it shouldn't be that much of problematic. Yeah. So Java was basically developed by James Gosling. He's also known as like the father of Java, and this was released and controlled by Sun Microsystems. And so uh, this was Java was basically introduced like around 1995. So this these are like some historical related information about Java. Let's not get deep into that. So these are some of the basic features of Java. So it is quite a simple language. Means simple in the sense that means the constructs and syntax that Java has is quite clear, and it is not like ambiguous. So it's like strictly typed checked language. So whatever syntaxes it has, there's nothing like without type checking or without any security flaws you can like write. So those of you who have like already some knowledge on C++ would find Java and C++ quite relatable, except that C++ also has some complex pointer concept. So anyone here who has already studied C++ has some knowledge about C++?
Uh, yes, Adamasu, but
Okay. Okay.
long time
Okay.
before.
No problem. Yeah. So even in C++ and Java, you will find a bit relatable because the syntaxes are different. But if you know C++, it will be very difficult, very easy to for you to like know Java as well. There were some concepts in C++, like the pointer concept, which is not there in Java. Java handles it in some other manner. There is some memory allocation concept in Java that is like a bit different, but that is like quite simpler than what we had in C++. So I'm just giving a high level overview. We'll cover each concept thoroughly when we like go into that particular thing. This is just a brief introduction to Java. Then Java is a pure object-oriented programming language, and it supports OOPS concept. By OOPS concept, I mean that these are like object-oriented principles. So object-oriented principles, this is an interview question also. So whenever an interview asks you what are the OOPS concept or object-oriented principles, so you can tell them like there's abstraction, inheritance, then there is encapsulation, then there's polymorphism. So these are the four main OOPS concept. We will deep dive into this us along when we go into the contents, but these are the four OOPS concept: abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance. I will give you a brief idea about everything. Abstraction is something like not getting into the complexity of the system, but still using it. Suppose you drive a you are driving a car, and your car has an engine. There are like lots of parts in that car. The engine has a lot of parts. You don't know about every part, right? And you don't need to know, but you need to like drive the car. You know how to drive the car. So basically, you know the behavior of that particular system, but you are not getting into the complexities. So this phenomena is basically called abstraction. I think you're getting it right. You're not deep diving into the complexities of any system, but you're still using it because you know how to drive, you are able to handle that behavior. So this is kind of like abstraction. Then there is like another OOPS principle is inheritance. So what inheritance means is like, in layman's language, I would say there were some properties, or there are some behaviors that you uh, inherit from your parents. So suppose there's a parent, there's a child, there's another child. So there are like some behaviors, or uh, um, there are some behaviors which you will like inherit from your parents, your father or your mother, and then you will have some of your own as well. So this is similar to that. Means in Java, there's class. There's what we say is like a parent class. So suppose in a parent class you have defined some behaviors. Then there are like some child classes. So those child classes will automatically inherit the behaviors of their parent class. Apart from that as well, the child classes will have some extra behaviors of their own, but all the behaviors from the parent class will be like inherited in the child class. So it's simple to like uh, parent uh, and the child, there's some kind of like relationship, and the child is like getting all the properties of the parent. So it's similar to that. So this is one OOPS concept. Then there is something called like encapsulation. So encapsulation is like basically when you write your Java code, there will be like lot of packages. There will be classes, then there will be like methods, and then there will be like variables. On a high level, I'm like explaining these things. I'll explain everything when we read about each of the topics, but you are like creating some package, you are creating some class, you are creating some methods, then some variables. So we need to like bind this in some kind of like wrapper, such that means it binds the entire code means altogether. So this mechanism is of binding the all these things like classes, objects, methods, variables. This is called like encapsulation. Let's come to the next OOPS principle, that is like polymorphism. So polymorphism is basically like, polymorphism means like you have one thing but in many forms. So suppose you created suppose you have like created one method. You created one method for like computing the sum of two numbers. So the numbers can be like decimal numbers. The numbers can be like negative numbers. The numbers can be like whole numbers. The numbers can be like natural numbers. So what you can do is like a class has like some 3-4 methods. The signature and everything is like same, but what you are handling in each of the method is the same thing, but you are like taking the input as like different numbers. So there's concept like method overloading, method overriding, which we'll discuss later. But on a high level, means we are doing the same thing, but it's for some different kind of like input. You are like overriding, means that you are like replicating the same behavior, but for different types of inputs. So this is the concept of polymorphism. Let's come to the next feature. Next feature is like security. So Java is like a very secured and robust language. And this is also a very type checked language. So basically, when I say by like type checked language, it means that you have to strictly follow like the syntaxes, and you cannot like write caps. Means sometimes people would think that can we like use small letters instead of like capital letters in the code syntaxes. That won't work because this is a strictly type checked language, and so you will have to follow the syntaxes exactly like it has been mentioned in the Java libraries. So this is about type check language, and Java is also very secure and very robust. By security and robust, it means that there are like underlying libraries which prevent uh, which helps in the security of your code. There are like threads, there are like different security mechanisms which you can like follow. There's like Spring Security and a lot of other things which help you in like securing your code. So this is about security feature. Then there is like platform independence. What I mean by platform independence is like you have a lot of operating systems. So basically you have a Unix system, you have Mac OS system, you have Windows system. So what Java allows you is that you can write your code once and then compile it once, and that same code will basically run on all the platforms, be it any operating system. So this is one of the greatest features of Java, platform independence. You don't have to like compile the code on different systems. I will discuss about this in detail when we talk about platform independence, but I'll give you some overview. Like when we compile a program, by compiling, what I mean is like compiling is basically checking that whatever program you have written has any syntax errors, has any library wrong library used, or many means any syntax related flaws if you have in your code. It's basically uh, checked under compilation process. So if you don't have any syntax errors in your code, your program will be like compiled successfully. So once your program is compiled successfully, basically Java creates some kind of like bytecode. What bytecode is basically, it's kind of like machine code. So you write your program in like English language. You will write some keyword like class student, class employee, and then you will write some code. But the computer understands it's in some kind of like binary, right? So basically the computer will understand in the form of zeros and ones. So that's how the internal mechanism of computer works. So can someone please mute themselves? I think there's some background noise coming in. Yeah. Hello. Uh, hello. Can someone please mute themselves? Hey, Araya, can you please mute yourself? Hello. Araya, can you please mute yourself?
If you have access, you can do it for you. I think you can mute him.
I think it's muted now, right? Yeah. Yeah. So we were discussing about platform independence. So yeah, so when you compile your program in Java, it basically creates a bytecode, and that bytecode is basically some kind of like machine code. So now the Java compiler is made such a way that when you compile your program, that bytecode is basically executable on any operating systems, be it Unix system, if it is Mac OS system or it is a Windows system, it is executable everywhere. So that is basically like platform independence. So you can just write your code once, compile it once, and then run it from anywhere. For those who have like Windows system, if you have when you installed Java JDK, right? You must have seen one program files folder in your C drive. If you navigate to your program files and then go to Java and then go all the way to that bin folder, you will see one exe file named as like Java C. So that Java C is basically working as your Java compiler. So that when you install that JDK, that Java C basically gives you that Java compilation facility. So I hope these few features which I discussed is quite clear to everyone, right? Anyone has any questions about this? If not, we'll proceed to the next slide. Yeah, so this is a simple Java program, a very simple basic program where we are just printing out some hello world command. So we'll discuss classes and objects later in another section, but for time being, if you see this is a class hello world, and then there's a method public static void main and some print statements. So class is a keyword. So by keyword, what I mean is like this class keyword has some special meaning to the compiler. Means it is a Java keyword. It is specific to Java. And like this hello world, this is something like user defined. You can define it on your own. You can provide any name over here, like class employee, class student, or anything. But this class keyword is like specific to Java. And when you create a class, it has to be exactly like this. You don't have to like put it in a capital letter or something. It has to be exactly like this. And then followed by whatever class name you want to provide. This is like user defined. And if you see the convention over here, like hello world, what it's following is like the first letter of the like hello and world. So the first letter of the first word, like you can split it into two. So H will be capital and then W will be like capital. So it's like camel kissing. call this as like camel kissing. Means first letter is caps of the first word, followed by all other letters are like small, and then like W is capital, and then other letters are like small. Similarly, if you provide any other name like employee, so E will be capital and like all the other letters will be like small. These things are like very basic, but I'll like let you know because other programming languages have some other uh, other conventions followed, but Java has this convention. Is that clear to you? Hello.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then this is like another method. So methods in Java are basically like used to provide behavior to anything. So suppose let's think of something like an employee. An employee has certain tasks. So and that task can be like considered as a behavior. So employee like does some work, then he gets some allowance from the company. So like we can think of employee's behavior like performs task 1, then he performs another task. So like performing a task is like kind of a behavior of an uh, employee. So every behavior of an employee is basically like created into a method. So this is, I'll talk about this public static void main. So this public static void main is like the one of, you can say like this is one of the methods which should be there to like run our Java program. There are other user defined methods as well, but this public static void main, this is like specific to Java compiler. I'll talk about this in great detail later, but for now, what you can understand is like this public static void main. This method is basically used for printing a hello world command. So let me open my IntelliJ IDEA, this editor. I'll show you on this editor. I'll delete everything. So this is our IntelliJ editor that we downloaded and installed last class, right? So so what basically I did was like I went to file, I went to new, I went to project, and then in this project I just provided some name, I've already like created one batch h1, so I provided some kind of like name, and then whichever location you want to like save all your programs, right? You can provide this location, and then you can like click on create. So this will basically create some kind of like structure already for you. So this way, this editor is like quite handy. You will get one source folder, src, where you can like basically write your programs. This src folder is where we write our programs, and then as we discuss later on, there will be like lot of other folders which I will explain to you at a later stage. But here src, you can like write your basic Java programs. Let me click on this, then I go to new, and you see these options, right? I'll go to Java class. So I'm creating my first Java program. So I will just write test. If you can see, I'm following that convention where I'm this the first letter is like capital and the rest are like small. So please always follow this convention. When you, from the starting of your coding, if you start following these conventions, there won't be any issues later on. But in the initial stages, if you think that you are using some different convention, that will become a habit. So please follow this convention, like make the first letter as capital and the others as small. So when you create this class, this ID will basically create some structure like this, public class test. I will talk about like what this public is later. Means there are like different kinds of it can be like public, it can be like default, it can be like protected. What these things mean, that we'll cover at a later stage. For now, we can just think that this public class test is a simple Java class, and I will write just main and click on enter. So basically it will like create a method for me. So when you write a main and just click enter, this ID automatically generates this structure for you. Means it's providing you some support. This editor will provide you some autocomplete features. So this is it. And then if you write like SOUT and then click on enter, so what basically it does is like it creates one statement to print something. So this is like system.out.println. If you want to like print something to your console, you need some kind of like, for those people like who are using JavaScript, they have like console.log. In Java, we basically use system.out.println. So then in double quotes, you can write something like hello world. And then I went to this terminal. In the below, you can see this terminal, right? Everyone can see this. I clicked on this terminal and then I'm already in patch 1. One second. See, I have navigated to this source folder by using change directory commands, cd commands. So if I do an ls, it will show this test.java. So in this source folder, basically, this test.java is present. This is our first Java program class that we have written. So there's one method that we can like compile this program like this. We use the Java C compiler, Java C. This is a keyword. Then we write the name of our class, Java C test dot Java. So if you can see, right, when we ran this command Java C class name dot Java, what it did was, can you all see this source folder? You can see one class like test dot class is created, right? Can you all see this? Hello. Hello.
Yes,
everyone.
I see that.
Yeah. So this is basically your class file that is generated after compiling your program. So compilation basically creates your bytecode that we told, right? So this class file is basically some kind of like bytecode. And this bytecode, if you run it on any platform, it will just run it, because you need compilation only once in Java. So once your program is compiled, you can like run it on any platform. You take this dot class file and then or the bytecode and run it anywhere. So next what I will do is like I have already compiled my program. I'm like executing it for the output. So for that purpose, we are like writing Java keyword and then providing the name of the class, just the name. See, when I write Java and then the name of the class, you can see this hello world getting printed over here, right? So this is what we intended. This was the intention of our program, that the first step is compilation, the second step is execution. So for compilation, we are basically using Java C space name of the class dot Java. And for execution, we are using Java space, just the name of the class. It does not need .java extension again. So once you enter this, you will basically see the output hello world. So this is one way of doing it when you don't want to use your IDE. Means I've not used the features of IDE to run this program. This is some command line tool that I have used for now, like Java C, test.java, and then Java test. These are like some manual command-based instructions that I'm giving to the computer to run this program. But just click on this file anywhere in the center of this file, test.java. Just right click, and then you see this run test.main, right? And everyone can see this?
Yeah, we see it.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, just click on this. You don't have to basically write all these commands in the terminal, but you can see your output over here, right? Hello world. So this is the feature of an IDE, your editor. That editor simplifies the work for you. You don't have to write those compilation and execution instructions. So just right click on this and then click on this run test.main. So once you again run this command, you will see your output in this below console. Is that clear? Anyone who has not followed until now?
Yes, I was
Mm.
just trying to follow you, but you're just, you're quick. So
Okay, no problem. What is it that you want me to like explain again? I can like you want me to like again create a program and then start all over. So that can be okay. I'll create again. So please follow
Okay.
this. I'm closing this test.java. So I'll start from the scratch. I went on this file option. I went on this new option. I went on this project option. I clicked on this project. So since I've already like created this project, means initially what you can do is like, so this batch H1 what I've created. So this is what I've already created. You can just click on create. I'm not creating it now because this is like already created for me. So you can provide the name of the project. That's it. And this is the location of your computer where you want to like store this entire project. So I've like stored is this in some document workspace Java training folder. So basically you can like create some kind of like workspace, and then under that workspace you can like provide some kind of like Java training kind of path where you want to like store all your program related files. Clear until now?
yes.
Yeah. So just click on create and it will this ID will create the entire structure for you. This entire structure that you see, source out dot idea, these things will be done by the editor. You don't have to worry. So for now, what you can do is like, you see this source directory, right? Source folder. You need to like click on this. You need to like click on new. Basically, go and right click on this source folder. Click on new. Then you see this Java class, right? Click on this Java class. Provide some kind of like name, like employee. See, like the employee name that I provided contains the first letter as capital. Always follow this convention. Then press enter. So now your editor has like created one class for you that is like public class employee. And here you can like write your code. So we have a main method in Java that is basically used to run your programs. There are like other methods as well, like user defined methods. We'll discuss about those later. For now, if you just write main and just like click enter, this editor will provide you some kind of like support, like some autocomplete features. If you click on this here, it will like create one method for you. You can consider line number 2 to line number 4 as your method block. This what I'm highlighting is your method. Here you can like means whatever behavior that you want to like, means if you want to like add two numbers or print something, you can like do it over here. For suppose we first suppose you want to like add two numbers, and those are like integer numbers. By integer numbers I mean that like those are numbers like 1 2 3 4 5, something like that. I'm just doing a, this is like int a equal to 5. So this int is basically one of the data types which holds your integer number. We'll talk about the data types later when we go into this specific topic. But for now, I'm just giving like I'm taking two variables. See, A and B. What are A and B in line 3 and 4? A is a variable. You can like provide any name. This is like user defined. So you can like provide any name. And this is int. This is like a data type which basically stores some integer kind of value. So this is 5. Your variable B has the value 4. And then what you need to do is like you want to like print the sum of these numbers. So I'm writing system.out.println. So how I did this was like, you can, this is a shortcut. You can like write SOUT, and then it will the editor will provide you some kind of like autocomplete feature. See, it's like giving you some instructions. Prints a string to system.output. So you can like click on enter. So you're getting an entire system.out.println. And then what you want to do is like your variable A stores the value 5, your variable B stores the value 4. You want the sum of these two. So press means click A plus B. So what you can basically do now, click right click on this file. You see this option run employee.main, right? So you can just go over here and click on this. So in the console below, you see this value 9, right? So basically you were able to take two numbers, add the sum of those two numbers and print those numbers. Is it clear until now? Everyone following?
Yeah, that's clear.
Yes, clear, clear.
It's clear, right? Okay, yeah. So this is what I was like explaining. This is so this is how you do it via with your editor. So the other process was like we was with the command line tools, the compilation and execution process that I showed you, right? We'll do it once more such that like you remember those things. So you have your employee class here. Suppose I don't have an editor. For now, I'm using an editor. Suppose I did not have this IntelliJ idea. I just have my program written in some kind of like notepad file, notepad.java means notepad, and I'm using, so notepad does not have your compiler, right? Your IntelliJ idea provides you all those compilation features and all. So your notepad, suppose your program was like written in notepad and you wanted to use some kind of like some kind of way to like get your output. So it's basically divided into two steps. So steps to run your Java program. First is compile compile the Java program, and for this we use this command javac Then your program name, suppose the program name is like employee dot followed by the Java extension Java. Next step is execute the program. Here you use the keyword Java and just the class name. So let me do it again in the terminal below. We'll see whether this works or not. So I'm just writing Java C employee. So see, if you write this just this EMP and press the tab key above tab, you have your tab key, right? Just above the caps lock key. Just uh, press the tab key, it will do the auto completion feature. So you don't have to manually write everything. See again, just write Java C EM and then just press the tab. It will auto complete this. So when I click on this, right, it basically compiles your program. So the compilation is done. Java C employee.class. Now, when you write Java and just the name of this class, press enter, you see the output 9. Any confuser or anyone has any doubt, please let me know until this step. This is the manual way to run your Java program. Compile the Java program with this Java C employee.java command and then execute the Java program with this Java space class name. When you do it with your editor, just right click on this file and then go to run employee.main and then just run it. This is another way. But when you want to just do it via your terminal, you can follow these steps. Means later on when you start your development and all, you don't basically go and like follow this Java C employee.java or Java employee. You basically will do it with your editor itself. But for now, to get all the basics correctly, I'm like explaining you how these things works internally. What are the steps involved in basically running your Java program? So it's basically compilation and then execution. So there are 2 steps, but you can do it with your editor by just right click. Even when you select this folder here on the right hand side, on the left hand side, employee, and then you can run this employee.main, you can get your output. Everyone followed until now? Yeah, okay, yeah. Who there was someone who was facing problem previously. Is your confusion clear? You are able to follow until now?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, how come that the first is this you have to give us for the main, the words main and the string, something like that, which just the system you have to bring it or you have to create it.
No. When you I'll
When you
tell
create
you.
it, Mhm.
I'll tell you again how I did. Like
No. That's understand. But I ask you public string void main. That's
yeah,
yeah. So,
public static void main. So for now, this is the method name. I will explain you what exactly each of these keywords mean, like what is the meaning of public, what is the meaning of static, void, main. But for now, if I don't want to like explain this now because that will be like
okay.
too much for you now. As we go
Okay.
along in the class, I'll explain you why we have this string ARGS, what is the meaning of static, what is the meaning of public. I will explain you everything. But for now, if you just see this, how I did was like, just write main. This editor will give you some autocomplete features. Just press on enter. You get this method. Here you can
Okay.
like write something and just get your output. Then what I did was like SOUT, again press enter. this gives you the command to like print your print something. So we are like printing some welcome to your first Java class. And then just right click on this file, just click like run test.main. So in the console below here, you are able to see your output, right? Welcome to your first Java class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it similar to S out in terminal and also right click and run it? They are similar output.
Sorry.
They have similar output.
Okay, the way we were doing it in terminal, right?
Terminal, and we use as it is right
Console.
click and run it.
Yeah, the
console.
output will be same. So see, Java C test.java. This is compilation step. Everyone following until now? The
Mhm.
first step is compilation. We are running this command in our terminal, Java C test.java. The program is compiled. You see this test.class file here now, right? So this is what we were calling the bytecode. This is created once you do the compilation step. Like when you run this Java C class name.java, you basically get your test.class file that generated. Now, when you again run Java space test, again when you run enter, this step is your execution step. Like basically after compilation step, you have to run this command. Click on enter, you see your welcome to your first Java class. The output will be same. Either you run through the terminal these commands, or if you just right click and run this thing, run your Java file. So the output will be basically exactly same. Any doubts you still have?
Okay, for here I'm okay, but one question, when we create public class and also have the field test, as the next it is curly plus bracket. But can we use close bracket or open
Mm,
bracket?
No. See, you will have to use this opening curly bracket only. So this is how like Java syntax is. So you cannot like modify this syntax. This is how Java compiler will understand. If you use some kind of like, see, this square bracket, right? Opening cross braces. You started seeing some kind of like red errors, right? Are you able to see
Okay.
the errors? So it won't allow you. So you will exactly have to use this curly braces only. So when you basically this is, I'm removing this method. So this is the syntax of like your class, syntax of Java class. Like class with some class name, you provide your opening curly braces and closing curly braces. This is the means, ignore this double slash. This is for like commenting out this thing. So this is like you provide the keyword class, some kind of like class name, have your opening curly braces and then closing curly braces. This is the simplest syntax of your Java class. So this is exactly what we have to like follow. You cannot like use any kind of like angular angular brackets or like this square brackets. Everyone following until now? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Can you
Yeah.
explain us? I have a question. Can you explain us first the folder?
Sorry,
The folder
can
that
I? Sorry, I did not get. Can you please, you want me to explain what folder?
Yeah, those Java, when you create a Java product, Java project, so there is, those folders are created, those Java project have, those folders structure, so you can experience what's excellent or what we, and how we compare those,
See,
properties have.
See, I'm creating a entirely new project. I think I explained this already twice, but I'll do it once more. Go to your editor, go into file.
I understand that you created Hello program.
Okay.
One, but those like, for example, you say it takes the class has a compiler, right? And then also the folder out has also a compiler to compile like the bytes. So how those are created?
Yeah. So this IntelliJ editor, right? This will create this folder. So you don't have to like basically create these folders like out or source. The ID editor does it for you. You don't all these folders, right? Like .idr, this out folder, this src folder. You don't basically have to create this. This editor will create it for you. So this is the benefit of using an editor. I'll show you once. So go to this file, new project. I'm just using some demo
Okay,
project.
I see those, but how is it related with the Maven compiler?
Maven compiler,
Because
you're saying? Hello.
yes, yes,
No. Please don't get into all those concepts now. Maven and Gradle, those will come later. Those will come when we will be basically taking Spring classes. I think you have already heard about those things like Maven and Gradle. So if you bring those concepts now, means it will like confuse other people also. So we are taking core Java classes now. So just stick to the concepts what we are using in core Java. Those Maven concepts, those Gradle concepts, how you create your form.xml file, how you add dependencies, those will come at a later stage when we start studying like Spring Boot. So please don't bring those concepts down. It will like confuse other people also. So whatever we are discussing in core Java, is that clear to you now?
yeah, it's clear. It's clear when you create the first project, but I was like trying to comment with that when you create those files, those are automatically created, and then
Yeah. This means these folders are automatically created. I think there's some lag in your voice. I'm not able to like get you entirely, but yeah, this source out and this .idea folders are like created automatically. You don't have to like explicitly create them. These are like created by the editor.
okay,
That's
yeah, go ahead.
okay. I'm proceeding with. I hope everyone else is clear until now. If you don't have any doubt, I'll proceed further.
Yeah, we can continue.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So, so this was about writing a Java program. So we have followed until now. So let's go to the another slide. So this slide we have already followed. We have seen what things we need to do. Let's go to another uh, uh, f- um, this path and class path variable. So what we mean by path and class path variable. So last class we did some kind of like installation steps, right? Installation steps and setup steps. So you remember doing these things, right? You went to this my computer, you went ahead and right clicked, you clicked on properties, you went to advanced and created some kind of like variables, right? You remember those as Java home steps, like providing Java home and pasting that path until that JDK 1.8, right? So why do we basically do that? So we do that basically such that our Java C compiler, we have like set the path of Java C compiler into our operating system. So you have like installed your JDK and Java on your system, but it needs to be communicated to your operating system as well, right? Means your Java and JDK is giving some kind of like instruction to your Windows operating system. So, hey, please go ahead and like compile this Java program. I'm giving you this instruction. So that is like one kind of like command that you have to give to your operating system. So that's why you basically go ahead and like set your path and class path variables. So this thing we have like already done last class, like setting the path for both Java home, and then again in the path section you went ahead and added Java home and followed by like \bin. I think everyone can recall that, right? Last class was entirely onto this like setting up of the path and with the entire setup of JDK and IntelliJ. So I've already covered this thing. I just letting you know why we basically use this path. And so this path is basically guiding your uh, your Java C compiler basically provides an instruction to your operating system to basically compile and run your Java programs. So for that purpose, we are basically setting this path. Let me go to the next slide. This is again compiling and running a Java program. So this is exactly what we saw while using the editor. So if you see to compile at the command prompt type, what you basically do is like you provide a keyword JavaC class name .java, and if there are no syntax errors, you will get your .class file, right, in your working directory, like hello world .class in your working directory. We have already seen this, right? And when you want to run your Java program, you can like provide this key like Java and then followed by the class name. I think this is already clear, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we have already seen this. Let's get to the next slide. So I'll let you know like what is the difference between Java and like other programs. So we were talking about like program platform dependency and platform independence, right? So other programming languages other than Java, what they basically do is like, suppose let's take the example of like C++ program. So what it does is like basically when you do the compilation process, so it is like different for like all the operating systems. So once you have like compiled your program on DOS operating system, or suppose say you have compiled your program on Mac operating system, so you cannot just go ahead with that compiled program and run it on some other operating system like Unix system. So you will have to compile again that program on your Unix system. So this is like every platform has its own compiler, Java compiler. It's not like you compile your program once and run it on any platform uh, when you are dealing with C++. So this is exactly what we can see. There's a different compiler for DOS operating system. There's a different compiler for Unix operating system. There's a different compiler for OS2 operating system. So each operating system for C++ will have its own, we need different Java compilers for each operating system. So this is basically like some kind of dependency for platform, right? So suppose for Mac, you have to like use the compiler based only for Mac. Then you suppose someone else is like using Windows operating system, you have to use the Java compiler based only for Windows. So this is like very specific. So that is why what we call this as like, this is dependency on the platform. So we'll see how this is different in Java. these things we have like already discussed, whatever is like written in this slide, like any application which is like written in Java will run on all Java platforms, and once you have like compiled your program, you don't have to like recompile it again to run it on another operating system. So this we already discussed why we were showing you the slide with that bytecode and all. So I'll show you this. Okay, one more thing. We already discussed about the bytecode that is getting created once you compile your program. So there is something called like Java virtual machine. So what I mean by this Java virtual machine is like this Java virtual machine is basically on your system. So every system, this Java virtual machine is like specific to any system. And what this Java virtual machine, or in short, we also called it like JVM. So next time when I call like JVM, you need to like understand like JVM means Java virtual machine. So Java virtual machine, what it does is like this bytecode which was like created on compilation process, this will go to this Java virtual machine, and this Java virtual machine or JVM will basically execute it. So means like your operating system or your computer, it understands things in like low level language like zeros and ones, and right, but you write your program in some kind of like English language. So there's some kind of like translation going on between these things, how computer understands basically what you write. So this JVM will come as a middleware kind of thing, which will like help your computer basically understand what program you're writing. So this Java virtual machine or JVM will basically help you to execute this bytecode onto any operating system. So that is the role of JVM. Everyone clear?
Yes.
Thank you. So now see how Java is like platform independent. We have seen this slide, right? Where we saw that C++ program is a platform dependent programming language. But when we see this slide, platform independency. So this is our Java program. We have compiled it, and then we got some kind of like bytecode. And this bytecode basically we can go ahead and run it on any operating system. We can run it on DOS operating system. We can like run it on Unix, OS/2, or any other operating system. So the same bytecode can like run on any operating system. So you don't need in different Java compilers for different environment, different operating systems. So that is why what we say is like Java is like platform independent. You don't need separate Java compilers for your program to run it on a different operating system. So that is basically the benefit in terms of like platform dependency and platform independency. So anyone ever asks you like, is Java a platform independent language? You must say yes, Java is a platform independent language. Let's go to the next slide. So these things we already saw, right? Integrated development. This is like a visual view of your IDE. Some people use Eclipse, some use IntelliJ. This is a visual representation of the program, a simple program written in Eclipse. We have already seen it while we were doing uh, our demo first program, right? So then there are like some different editors you can use. This is like IntelliJ IDEA, Eclipse, NetBeans. Personally, my favorite is like IntelliJ IDEA, and that's like very useful for like creating backend applications using Java and Spring Boot. So that's why I basically use IntelliJ IDEA. I would like to recommend you also to use IntelliJ IDEA, but it's like entirely your choice if you want to like basically use any other um, editor as well. So there's no issue in that. So I'll leave this class until now because there will be some other terminologies as well, which will basically see in the next class, because it will be like too much of terminologies for you. For today, we have already seen what bytecode is. Then we already saw like we were able to generate this class file after compilation, and uh, you also got to know something about this JVM or Java Virtual Machine. We'll start in the next class from this slide itself, and because there are like a lot of other terminologies, and I think it will be overflow for you for today. So we'll continue from this slide tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have again a 1 hour session, and then the next sessions will be on the weekends, like Friday EST and Saturday EST. And yeah, so let me know if you have any questions until now from today's class.
Um, I don't have question, but I have a suggestion regarding the class, how it is proceed. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, especially this is I was expecting from today's class like to see the more conceptual and what will happen whenever we run any kind of command like Java C to compile, right? I was expecting to see it at the back end, like at the back of what will happen, right? When we do Java C, there will be a compilation, right? So if there is any syntax error, it will throw an error unless it will compile successfully. But when we compile, what will happen at the back of the folder, like what kind of file will be created, and when we do the execution, Java, then the class name, right? So
Yeah.
it is more theoretical. Today's class, I know, is the first day of the class, but to the others, to the other classmate also to easily understand, it's better to see like not only running the command on this terminal. Instead, it's better to show them to show us like you're gonna open the file explorer and go to the Java folder, and what is happening in real time when we run those commands. So if you do this, if you do your presentation this way, it will be more understandable other than like beside this running those command on the terminal and see the output, because like this setup is already set. So whenever we run any kind of command, we will see the output, but we don't know exactly what is happening at the back end. So, and that's my suggestion.
Okay. Yeah, Solomon. Yeah. So one thing is like the bytecode, what you're talking about, and this, see, one thing is like after compilation, this dot class file is created, which you can like see. But bytecode, what exactly bytecode is basically like, it's computer readable, and you basically cannot like read that code. It's like low level machine code. It won't be like understandable for you, that bytecode. So basically that bytecode will that's like only understandable by the JVM of any operating system. So for today's class, I'm just not going into those detail because it will be like so confusing to other people. But I've like shown you all the steps, like after compilation, what file gets generated, what happens at the backend is like basically that bytecode creation happens, and which is basically like executable on any of the operating systems. But this is basically like the steps how you run your Java program. Like there are two steps: compilation and the execution of the Java program, which will basically do by these two commands. And I will means as and when we go into depth, right, I will show you like how those libraries and all basically work. But for today's class, let's keep it like simple, this compilation execution things and whatever we have covered until now. So it if anyone is still not able to follow until this, if anyone has any queries, you can let me know, or uh, otherwise we'll conclude today's class.
I have a question.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, actually, my question is not about the class, but if you don't mind, if you post us every recording video in the, I mean, by WhatsApp or on the Google Class. You know, myself, I do the transportation business, so I am always outside in the weekdays. So even right now, I'm follow you on the phone, so I cannot
Oh,
even see.
okay.
Yeah, so if you do that for us, you know, it is very helpful to watch
Okay.
again to make it
Okay.
understand more.
Okay, got it. Yeah, so I'll be like doing that in like some 2-3 days time. I'm means I'll like share you all the recordings after every class. Allow me some time until this weekend, and then you will be like getting all the recordings as well in some time. Maybe I will upload like 2-3 classes recording all at once. But see, I get that you won't be like able to attend this weekdays classes, but it's like highly recommendable that you try to like manage if you can like um, attend the classes live sessions, because live sessions are the most uh, by live classes you will get all the benefits, because whatever you queries you have or whatever queries anyone else has, those things will also be covered and you will get all your queries solved. But if you just go through the recording, it will be like any other random tutorial that you are going through, and probably you will start losing your interest. That is like my suggestion. But
Yeah, you're right. You know, the first class, actually, unfortunately, I had a program before I have any clue about your class start that day. That's why I missed it. But the next day, I was ready to follow, but I think you canceled the class Saturday morning. But you know, as I told you, you know, in the weekdays, I am
okay.
always outside. That's the nature of my job. I cannot do
Okay.
anything.
Okay, no problem. I sure. I'll start sharing it in 2-3 days time. Actually, the last class was like cancelled due to some personal reasons, and until like next 1 or 2 weeks, there might be like 1 or 2 classes also getting cancelled. But don't worry, I'll cover like everything systematically, whatever things we need to cover, because of my some travel issues and all. That class got cancelled, and because of some personal reasons, I have some travel schedule, so that's why I'll let you know like one day before if any class is getting cancelled or not. So
Okay. Thank you so much, brother.
yeah, so
One question up.
yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Already, Solomon, I think is mentioned for my question. Just Java, just logic. We need to that notice. You know, output is something input, and we need output is reading. So not only that one, but we needed to that think logically, in a logic come out how to logic that one. I think more detail that one is better this class, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's just not YouTube, like just us working to that input and output, but we needed to logically how to come from that one, just more understand that one, just appreciate this score. And the other I suggested for the schedule already talked to, but if you cancel something, date, tell us before a day. If you have some appointment, tell us before 3-4 day, because we are working is just our program. So before tell us that day we have to work on that day if you cancel it. So not today,
Okay.
no class. Don't
Okay.
say that today, no class. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, sure. I'll take care of this. I will let you know like at least 2 days prior. Is that fine for you? Like 2 days prior, if I let you know. Hello.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll let you know like 2 days prior, like which classes will be getting cancelled, and means at least like 2 days prior, I'll let you know like if the class is going to be cancelled or not, right?
Right.
Yeah, sure. I'll take care of this.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm stopping the recording for today.